I was raised in Southern California, more San Pedro area, and I was graduated from Banning High School in Wilmington, and I've been out there roughly about until I was in high school and then went to the military. In fact, my father and my mother were Catholics, but they were not practicing Catholics. And we went to catechism and all that, and it was, it wasn't for me, but I had something inside of me and I knew that was there with the Holy Spirit. But because I know at 7 years old, I woke up in the middle of the night and the Lord spoke to me and He showed me something. I'll never forget what He showed me, but it was just kind of scary. It's like the end times. But to this day, I can really see it in place. But He's been in me since then. Back in 82, 81, I was always competing in the martial arts, as you can see. And I grew up with the martial arts since I was 6 years old. And I've trained in it for 40 years. And those 40 years, and I was just always fighting things, in competition or people in school. I was always fighting because I wasn't pleased with things. And I had a temper. It was like, you'd say boo and I would just jump. It was really a fast life. And I was in drugs, speed all the time because I wanted to move fast. So, it's just something that I've always done in my life. And it's just been a downhill battle ever since because I always wanted to be better than everybody and to be the best. I was covering up everything, who I really was and who I wanted to be, because I was something that I wasn't. I always wanted to do something to be in the spotlight. But yet I've done films for about 8 years. I've been in about 21 films. I've always been a stunt guy. And I was like falling off buildings like this or getting hit. It was an experience, and like I said, something I wasn't, somebody I wasn't. And I just wanted to let people know. I just wanted that attention. I came to the Lord in 1984 when Billy Graham came here at the LA Coliseum, and I committed my life then. Then I drifted away for 20 years. I walked away from the Lord. Well, I was a control freak, first of all. I didn't like anything out of line, even my children. I have 2 daughters. And the thing is that whenever they were out of line, I would get them back in line, either by force or by yelling. And usually that leads to, discipline. And sometimes if I didn't have that control, I'm losing it. I would say, what am I doing? Why am I out of control? Or why am I not in control of things? And it's very hard. And it's that prodigal son. In 2004, December 21st is my mother's birthday. And my daughter said, she was at the time, I think it was 7 or 8, and she goes, Daddy, it'd be a good time for you to go to church. And I said, okay. And from that point on, December 21st is when I committed and converted to Christianity. And the Lord has just always been good. And I have walked through some trials. If I wanted to stay or not, what am I giving up? Because back when you're a martial artist, I was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And when I was inducted into the Hall of Fame, it's something that I thought I was the best, but you're not. You're just scratching the surface. So when I found the Lord, He's the best. He's the true master, as they would say. So God, this is God's gift. That's what I've always said. This is God's gift. He gave us, as human beings, learning how to defend ourselves. In the old days, Joshua would just tear down 31 kingdoms. And that's what he did for the Lord. And that's what I feel. Because when God says to do it, I'll follow. And I just kept wanting more from Him. And I'm still learning. Being with the Lord for 4 years now, it's been really a blessing. It's been so, eye-opening. And I gave all this up for Him. I gave up the martial arts for 4 years. I put it at the altar. So Lord, this is yours. Because the gifts He gives you, and unless it's not for Him, I don't need it. I don't want it if it's not for Him. It's still trying. It's very trying still, because my oldest one, she's in college right now, and I don't see her that much. And then my youngest one's 13. Her name's Casey, and she's going through this preteen attitude. But it's okay, I'm learning. So I just love her. And then I just talk to her now. Before I would just not say a word. I mean, my wife speaks to me all the time. So you're so selfish, self-centered. And I go, no, I just want to do it my way. And all I knew how to do is me, 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 me. That's how she said, and that's how I heard it, but it didn't sink in. But this last year and a half, it sunk in. What sunk in was the Holy Spirit, meaning that open your heart, Ray. But then in 4 years being with them, with the Lord, it's so refreshing knowing that you don't have to control things. He controls it, and that's the key. He controls your destiny. All you got to do is ask and pray for it. I know who I am now. That's the main thing. I know who I am in God. I know what my mission is to reach others and to let them know who God is. At one time, we were in a conference here at Harvest Rock, and Todd Bentley, he came up to me. We were praying downstairs. He grabbed me by the shoulders, and I've never seen him do this. He pulled me down and kneed me in the chest. And that's what the Holy Spirit. And my wife spoke to me, said, because she knows the Father, Todd Bentley, said he's never done that before. And that's what humbling did. The Holy Spirit just humbled me. Because, see, I knew how to take hits. But it was like, wait a minute, I've never been hit before like that. And I said, Then I had people say behind me, oh, champion, huh? I can hear them saying that. And I said, Lord, this is yours. If this is what you want me to do, I'll humble myself before you. And I knew it was the Holy Spirit speaking to me, because from that point on, I've enjoyed laughter. I've enjoyed crying. I've never cried before. I've enjoyed the presence of my family, you know. In Hawaiian, we call it ohana, family. And it's beautiful.